what's Tim doing for us right now?
He's doing all the work. We're just watching. Tim's tramping down the snow where we're going to put our tent.
Hey, where are we with the tent?
Over there.
So here's the thing about winter camping is you just stop where you want to stop. Tim wanted to keep going.
Might be a little deeper. Well, we might be getting close. Fresh water coming right up.
That's not fresh water.
We hit the sewer line. Did you bring your filter?
What do you got there, Andy?
Well, I'm going to try something I've never done before camping, and I don't know if it'll work or not, but I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm going to try and make some ice. So we've got nice ice for our drinks. Where's the freezer, Kevin? We'll come back and give you an update later.
Well, they frozen?
It looks like they're started. But they're bumpy on top. That's probably because the snow is falling on. I like my ice cubes smooth on top. Scotland's Day. Here, you want to hold?
And why are we holding the flag, guys? What's going on?
It's Robbie Burns Day. Woohoo! If only we had some haggis. And what's that refreshment?
Scotch?
Yeah.
I think we might have some of that.
Ooh, ho, ho. It's a happy day. It's pretty close, if not there. The camping first. Making ice on a camping trip. For me, anyway.
Yeah, for me too, yeah. But I thought there was, actually they had scat on a deer kill and they like DNA. It's like, oh my god, it is actually.
Tim, what are we having for supper?
We're having cheese fondue. Swiss
really?
cheese fondue, yes. Which actually is quite enjoyable in a winter camping environment. Because it's the hot cheese, you've been sawing all day, you've been chopping wood all day. In the evening you have some nice hot cheese with some roughage, broccoli, pear, apple, and of course crusty bread in the finest Swiss tradition.
Are you okay with eating broccoli in the tent in some closed area?
Just as long as no one pulls my finger.
And now, what was you were telling us? We cannot drink anything cold. What was that?
Well, you're not supposed to drink cold water because it will coagulate the hot cheese in your stomach and basically put a cheese ball in your stomach, which is probably not a good idea. So you need to drink either warm tea or cool wine. We are opting for the cool wine option this evening.
Is it a cool wine if it says ladies' night out?
Here's the cheese. Oh, that's a lot of cheese.
Yeah, this is ready to roll, man.
Now, there's a storm brewing outside. Can you tell everybody about the wind and the howling wind, the blowing snow?
I would, but they probably couldn't hear me over the wind and blowing and howling snow. So we got some wind chill, some cold. Kevin's guaranteed us that he will stay up all night feeding the fire. And, oh, wait a minute. I think he was shaking his head. Does this mean...
Oh, this is why I like going with you. You have a weak bladder, so I know you're going to have to get up.
Yeah, he knows that when I get up to pee, I throw some logs on the fire, and Kevin's like, ah.
I love it, indeed.
Do you love me for me or just my bladder?
Okay, as you see behind me, it's a swamp. Why would you camp in a swamp? Well, when you're winter camping, the one thing you don't do, we're in the Kawartha Highlands Provincial Park, you do not camp on designated campsites. All you do is you get a permit, and then you go into the park and you camp anywhere you want. And that's actually what they want you to do. If you camp in a designated campsite, there's no firewood for you because the people in the summer have used it, and you need lots of firewood in the winter. So even if there is firewood there, you don't want to use it all for people in the summer. So you go off a track in the woods, and you find a swamp. And why a swamp? It's out of the wind. It's not as exposed as a campsite would be along the lake. And there's lots of dead wood. And the dead wood behind me is fantastic for burning. It's dry, you cut it down, saw it up, chop it up. And we're lucky we found some hardwood and even some oak. Oak is phenomenal. If you use like balsam or spruce, yeah, it's easier to saw, easier to chop up, but it won't burn as long in the stove. Whereas hardwood, especially oak, it's really hard on the saw and really hard to saw. But once you've got it in the stove, it's going to burn for long periods and give you more heat.
Holy.
What?
Is that what I think it is?
And what the hell is it?
It's metal.
Who saw that piece?
We saw.
I did!
That was
my
Kevin's
piece! Do you think it's a musket ball?
It must be a musket ball. From when that War of 1812 rolled through here. You should be upset because I think that's the piece you had to saw when we were taking turns.
And while I was sawing it, I wasn't going fast enough. You were bugging me and teasing me and taunting me and saying it was a sissy pants. And I was cutting through metal.
Hurry harder! Put your back into it!
Well, I don't know. Nobody has a thermometer, so we don't know how cold it is. I know it is more cold than we expected because you can't really have your hands exposed for long periods of time. But other than that, it's okay. We have chickadees as our buddies visiting us at camp. We give them some bacon bits and they love it. And I don't know, it's nice to be out. We eat really well out here. You want to snack a lot, you want to drink a lot. You got to make sure you drink lots of liquids. You don't really think so because you're in this cold environment, but it's almost like a desert. It'll dry you out and you have to make sure you get liquids in you all the time. Oh yeah, the one question that I get a lot is what happens when you have to go to the bathroom? Well, you go. And it's not that bad. You get your snowshoes on, go off in the woods, find a spot, and hopefully it happens quickly. And you won't freeze by doing it. It's not a nice experience, but you won't freeze. And then what I do is I burn the toilet paper because in the springtime people don't want to see. Well, nobody's going to see the toilet paper in this area, but in the summer I would do a cat scratch and put soil on top, whereas here you can't because there's a whole bunch of snow. So to help out the environment, I basically burn the toilet paper, which I always find hilarious because you're standing there with a little fire going after you've done your business. And yeah, I don't know. It's not a big deal. Some people use snow for toilet paper. Yeah, no thanks. So behind me, there's our campsite. This is where we saw our wood. We got our flag going up, Robbie Burns. Scottish flag. We had a bit of a Robbie Burns party last night. We're camped by the swamp here and got lots and lots of wood. Notice how the red tinge to it, so that's all oak. It's amazing. We're out of the wind. Also the pipe. You want to notice the pipe is facing away from the wind. That's the one thing you got to watch. Don't put the pipe into the wind because the wind will blow the smoke back down the pipe and smoke you out. And also, you know, it's not good for you, but you could actually get poisoned by the, what's it, CO or CO2 emissions, whatever, from the smoke going down. I don't know. I don't know much about that, but I know it's not good for you. All right, I'm going back in the tent, have a cup of tea. For dinner tonight, I am going to make a curry, a butter curry with turkey and poppadoms. So the idea is this is frozen, well, because it's cold, but this is a liquid. Now you can dehydrate this, but I find on winter camping it's easier just to put all the liquids into a bag. They're going to freeze anyway, and pack it. It's heavier, but you're hauling everything on a freight toboggan, so it's not too bad. This is turkey left over from actually Christmas. I put some in the freezer for this trip. And yeah, and I got some couscous somewhere. I got some couscous. I'm gonna make some couscous, put the curry on there with some turkey in there, and make up some poppadoms. So here's the deal. This is what we do at night when it's howling outside and it's cold and freezing. And what you do is I tell Tim, hey, you know, that axe I got from you a couple years ago, it's awfully dull. And either I want my money back or I think you should sharpen it. So he gets the file out and he says, well, I'll show you how to sharpen it. And I'm you know, paying attention at the same time, but I'm not. I'm actually drinking whiskey and looking at the fire. And he's sharpening my axe. And if I do this every couple years with him, if we go out tripping every couple years, I got my axe sharpened all the time. So he does the test. Now you going to do the test?
Well, the test is to be able to cut the paper with the axe when you're done. Which in this case,
hey, that's sharp.
I
don't want to use that. Too sharp. It's be dangerous.
It's done pretty good. Yeah, that's. I think that's passing the test.
Wow. So how did you sharpen that? What did you use?
I used two files. I used the file for kind of
it's actually called a file?
File, yeah, for like general shaping and kind of getting the edge more or less there. And then I used the diamond file to get it to sharpness of cutting paper sharpness.
This is what we do at night. We have no idea what time it is. We had dinner.
It could be 8 o'clock. It could be midnight.
Could be midnight. We don't know. It got dark long ago.
Yeah.
And you know, some people read a book. I brought a cribbage board, and they all said, "Well, we don't know how to play cribbage." So there goes that. So I said, "Hey, let's sharpen axes." Wow. Wow. That's what you know.
That's a good edge, man. I'm happy with that.
Are you?
Yeah. We'll take that out tomorrow, but I think that's a pretty good edge. Yeah.
I hope I don't fall in that tomorrow. My wife, she wanted to try winter camping. She doesn't like the cold. Her lips turn blue, like even in the summer. And so I said, hey, like I'm going winter camping with some guys this weekend. And she goes, it's going to be awfully cold this weekend. And it's like, yeah, I heard, yeah. She goes, I'd rather serve time in prison than go winter camping. You know what you got there? You got another axe?
Oh, I do, yes. I'll work on
it's not a mall. By the way, it's not a mall. I mean a shopping mall. It's not a splitting mall. Why isn't it not a mall? I called it a mall and he got all upset with me today.
Well, the mall actually has a sledge hammer edge on the back, so you can pound wedges or other metal implements. That's what defines the mall. If it's merely for splitting, then it would be a splitting axe. So with the Grants Force axe, there's actually 4 models of splitting axes, one of which is a mall, 4 of which are actually splitting axes. Large splitting axe with a 27-inch handle, large splitting axe with a 31-inch handle, small splitting axe, and a splitting hatchet.
Do you work at a shop that sells axes or something like that?
I
have no clue what you're talking about. Yes. Does it cut wood? Yes, I like it. You better put that mall away, it's dangerous.
It's not a mall.
Oh. Well, this is a good winter day. I'm not sure how cold it is actually because I don't have a thermometer, but it must be cold because I can't talk. It's nice to get out. We got out of the tent and after lunch and we went out for a nice walk through the woods and chickadees are following us, landing on Andy's hat, looking for food. And why do people like winter? Like why do this? Hey Tim, why do you like winter?
I think there's a certain serenity and stillness and just quiet. It's calming, very calming, and it's invigorating. The cold weather, as long as you keep moving, it's quite invigorating. And you don't really see anybody else out here. You kind of have the place to yourself.
And you get to wear a good-looking hat.
Yes, that as well. Yes.
Speaking of good-looking hats. So what, do you like winter, Andy?
I do. I really like being able to come on out here and see areas that you don't get to see in the summer, because you can just kind of trek over the swamps, and it's a whole new perspective on the lands that you see maybe in the spring, summer, fall. And then on top of that, because of the snow, you see animal tracks that you don't get evidence of necessarily in the warmer months, because they're not leaving tracks unless they're going through mud. But here you can see the tracks, try and figure out what was happening at the time those animal tracks were made. So, and then out and about, you keep active, you're cutting firewood, you're trekking from one spot to another, and the cold really doesn't, you start to lose the fact that you are out in the cold. You're just doing activities, so it's kind of cool.
Boy, this beats sitting at home waiting for the winter to end. It really does. Because you're immersing yourself in winter, you're enjoying it, and being part of it. But yeah, you gotta try it. Get out in the winter. Stop hibernating. Give it a try. Just for the day. Just go out for the day for a hike in the woods in the day and have a hot chocolate when you get home. You don't have to go winter camping, but just get out. Chickadees are surviving. They're really puffy though. They must be eating a lot. And who do you think's hat's better, yours or Tim's?
Well, if you hand me the camera and then watch where it pans to, then we will know who the winner is.
Oh, my hat! I love my hat. Special. There goes our fire! We have no heat source anymore.
Yeah. We're committed now, boys. As my dad always says, a donkey goes best loaded. I just interpreted that as I should have another drink.